This is Susan Muita with True Living Show, which comes via Sky Cable TV. Today, introducing a topic which is very important to me because I've seen it all over. We don't like talking about it. It's already here with us. It has been ongoing. It's still continuing. Even as I speak here, it's still on. And this topic, it's because we always put it under the carpet. We hide it there, and we don't want to talk about it. People in our community have it, and the topic itself is depression. So, may I ask to you, my viewer, what is depression? Depression is when you lose interest of what you have been doing, when you don't feel good about yourself, when you don't do the things you used to do before, when you are not in the social circles you used to be, when you hide from other people, when you're going through so much. That's what I would call depression. And depression is brought around by so many things. Some of the things which brings depression to you and I, or to the community, the first one is a mental sickness. So it can just appear from nowhere and you get it. Mostly it also runs in families. So it's, let's say, your parents, your brothers, your sisters, or your grandparents, or somebody in your family had it. It's likely you can easily get it, but that doesn't mean if somebody in your family had it, you'll have it. But according to other diseases, they also relate the same. So depression is just like any other disease, and it's a mental health disease. And why I say this topic, I want to talk about it, it's because my community, people don't like talking about mental health diseases. Some places it's seen like a taboo. Some places it's people blame it on other people. People bring factors why somebody went like this. So we live in denial, but this situation is here. Let me just tell you, it's just like a disease like any other. It's just like the way you can get diabetes, or you can get another disease, by bacteria or virus. Then this one is a mental disease. So it should be treated as a condition. It should be treated like a disease. And that way we'll be able to help each other. We'll be able to accommodate each other. And we'll move on as a community, as a people, and as ourselves. So depression comes in many different ways. And today we'll talk about depression as many depression types as 1 up to 8. The first one I would like you to know, I'm just mentioning it first before we get on to what all these depressions are. So the first one is major depression. It's major depressive disorder as it is sounding. Then the second one is persistent depression. Just like the word says persistent, it continues, it's persistent. Then we have another one, it's called manic depression. That one, manic depression, which is number 3 on this video, is when somebody have manic and depression side of it, and it's called bipolar disorder. It's also a mental health disease, but on that disease, you have to have depression on it. So that's why I'm calling it manic depression. Then number 4 is depressive psychosis. Just like the way it says, you get some psychosis or when you get that depression. Then another one is parental. Parental depression is the depression where, it's usually for ladies, because it's when you get it when you're pregnant, or after a few weeks, 4th week, 2nd week after you give birth. And the reason why you get it is because you have hormonal changes, and your body also changes after you give birth or when you get pregnant. Then the 6th one is premenstrual dysphoric depression. That one also ladies get it because you get it on your cycle, you know, when you're having your periods. And that's why sometimes we say some people get, you know, moody when they have their periods. That's another type. Then number 7, it's a seasonal depression. Mostly here in United States, that seasonal depression is evident in fall, because it's a change of weather. You know, like when you go outside and you say, oh, today the weather is dull, and you see even people's mood is also down. Then we'll also talk about situational depression. Situational depression is when situations make you depressed. Because when you have situational depression, it's like when you lose your loved ones, when you lose a job, when you get divorced. So it's not that you are born with the depression. It's not something happened, but it's because a situation has come in your life which is not present, which is sad, and you get depressed. Another one is a typical depression. And this one goes away when something positive comes into your life. So we'll talk about those nine types of depression. We'll tackle one by one within the show as we go on. But what I want to talk about depression is, depression depends on or we can say it's measured, just like the way we measure pain. I might ask you, between 0 and 10, what is your pain? 0 being no pain and 10 being the worst pain you can ever get. We can use the same scale to measure depression. So most people, they usually have depression because day-to-day life, you know, sometimes something can happen which you don't like and you don't feel good. But we cannot call that 100% depression, because maybe if I find something I didn't like, one thing, I might say, okay, I feel depressed 1 out of 10. But when somebody has many occurring bad things happening, and then you say, oh, okay, yesterday my depression was 3 out of 10. Today is 4 out of 10. And tomorrow is 5. Then 6 up to 10. Then you're getting very depressed. So it matters on the number of the depression that you have. So 10 is a very, very bad, you know, depression, and it can lead to something else. We'll continue talking more about depression. Let's take a break and then we'll continue talking about it. Thank you.
Mpenzi mtazamaji, karibu sana kwenye Sky Cable TV Kenya. Sky Cable TV Kenya is a go-to channel for a message of hope and encouragement. On this channel, you can enjoy watching our engaging, inspiring,
your identity matters. You can never go somewhere, especially if you go to apply for a job and you don't put your identity.
motivating, and encouraging videos. Subscribe now to our channel to get the latest and most relevant updates. Get current information on health issues, diets,
Another do is eat healthy, exercise, boost up your immune.
Christianity, spiritual matters, music.
Start this day like cold rain.
We also offer the following services: wedding coverage, photography, videography, advertisement, production, branding and design, events coverage, and send-off coverage. And here is our contact info. Thanks for watching. Share this video and subscribe now to our channel.
Welcome viewers. We are continuing on depression, and that's what we are talking about before the break. And I had expanded to you all the 9 types of depression which we'll talk about. But right now, we'll talk one by one each type, so that you can know the symptoms, so that you can know what is that type of depression, and you can also know how to deal with it. You can also ask for help for it. And let's start now. So the first one I'll talk about, which, when depression is mentioned, it is called major depressive disorder. So that's a disease, or it's the depression which most people have it. It's a mental problem, and as I had told you, you get it because you didn't do anything, but it's got onto you. And some of the symptoms of it is you get grief. Maybe if somebody in your family died, or you can get grief from nowhere and you feel like that. Then you have you feel like you're fatigued. You don't have enough energy to move on or to do things you used to do easily. It's now taking a lot of energy to do it. You don't even feel like doing it. The same major depressive disorder. You have loss of appetite, or you overeat too much than you used to eat, and that way sometimes you get overweight because of that depression. Then you also lose or you don't have enough interest. You lose what you used to do before. You don't enjoy it anymore. You don't even want to go out there. You don't want to exercise. You don't want to meet with people. You don't want to do anything. The solution of that, when we see somebody who have that type of depression, it's good to help them, talk with them, so that you can know what is going on. Ask them how do they feel about themselves. Ask them how do they want to be helped. You can even help them, within ourselves. You can be talking with them. You can be going out with them. You can even send them to see a mental health person, a psychiatrist, a psychologist, a therapist, so that they can talk with them, so that they can be helped. Then another one, the second one, was persistent depression. Persistent depression is when the depression keeps on continuing, as the word persistent means. You feel like you don't belong. You feel like there's so much going on. You don't have any interest anymore. You have deep sadness. That's one of the symptoms of that. Another one, you feel like your self-esteem is not there. You're not confident. You don't feel well when you're out there, and that's how people go back onto cocoon. They hide when they are depressed. You don't see them, and that's how we know that person might be having depression. Another one is also appetite changes. You might have increased appetite. You might also have poor appetite. You don't eat as you used to eat. Either you eat too much, or you eat too little, or you want to change the type of food you want to eat. Another one is the sleep patterns. Maybe some people start sleeping during the day while they used to sleep during the night. That's another problem. Another one is social withdrawal, and some people, they have it, and that's how we come to know that they have it, because of all those symptoms I've said. And it continues, even like when people talk about it, that person might be treated, but it continues to haunt them. They continue to have that depression, and that's part of having persistent depression. And also, the way I would say somebody to be helped is going to to see a psychiatrist, to see a doctor, even to see friends. Family should be there to help that person. That person should be surrounded, should have somewhere they can lean on. And if they are going through so much, they can be helped by the community, by the families, and also looking for help where they can be helped. They can even see a therapist. They can even talk about how they feel, what is going on, what the changes. And that way they will be helped better. And that way they will feel better, and they can be treated, because we know that when depression is not treated, it can get worse and worse. When somebody says they have depression of 9 out of 10, they start feeling bad, because as we had talked about self-esteem, that person might feel like they don't belong, and they might even have suicidal thoughts. And that's how people end up harming themselves when it's extreme and it's not being helped, or nobody is coming to their rescue. That's how it is. Another type of depression, because we have just talked about major depression, persistent depression. Right now we are talking about manic depression. What is manic depression to you? As I have mentioned that word, manic, manic is like you get excited, but it is brought by another mental disease, which is called bipolar disorder. It's a depression on its own. We know when somebody has bipolar disorder, they usually have two symptoms, or two types. You get manic type, and also you get the depression type. Manic is when you are overexcited, when you have too much energy, when your mood changes to be the best, and then all of a sudden you change to depression. When you are on the depression side, you become sad, you become withdrawn, you're not talking to your people, you're not going out there, and that way, that's when you know that, or we know that person have manic depression. And a way to be helped, first of all, is you are treated first for the bipolar disorder, because there are some medications which they treat bipolar disorder. And in that way, you see a psychiatrist, you also see your doctor, you also see a therapist, you also talk to your people, because mental health disease is a bad disease, because it's not something you have pain or something we can see, but it's something you have a mental pain in it. So that's how you need to be treated. And then when you are being treated for bipolar disorder, then you also need medications for the depression. And because bipolar disorder is a mental health disease, and once you have it, you have it. So it means that you need to strike a balance of how you'll be treating it. And mostly it is gotten through families. If your family ever had it, if your brother, your sister, your relatives had it, you can likely get it. But it doesn't mean if people in your family had it, that means you have it. But there is likelihood. Most diseases, it's just like that. So even other diseases, if the family had it, you are likely to get it. because of your genetics or, you know, the way the body is made. So, and for now, we'll stop it there, and then in the future we'll talk more. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment, and know that this show, True Livings, comes every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern African time and 12 noon Eastern time. And thank you for watching. We'll meet next time. Thank you.